Hello and welcome to the show. On today's mess around with the army in a near indestructible car and see how much chaos you can cause, I have got the Dune flip car or ramp car. To be honest, I didn't actually realise I think I got a pretty mighty wing going on as well. Yes, it looks about as fantastic as you would expect. You might also notice it is snowing. Thankfully, there's been various mods for snow that every so often, like a new update comes out, corrupts the last one, takes for ages before another one pops up. But there is now one working that will give us some snow to play around in. And seeing as we are in the depths of winter and it's almost Christmas, we're going to have some snowy versus the armies. This one here is more going to be slaughter the army because they are not going to stand a chance. But that is half of the fun because the flip car is quicker than the truck, more maneuverable than the truck, and I have again made it a lot stronger than it is from standard. From standard, it will literally die in about 30 seconds of driving into oncoming traffic. So I have tinkered around with the car's files. It's will take a lot of punishment. Admittedly, it's probably going to have to, we are going to have a lot of fun firing army cars. Now, one thing I didn't manage to do last time that I do want to do is fire a car at a helicopter. Now, it might be doable. I don't think we're going to... we need the helicopters to be a lot lower. I mean, that got some good launch on it, as did that one. But we need the helicopters to be lower if we're going to make that one work. I don't really know why I'm going down here. Normally that road holds much fear. Just an upside-down barracks. Normally that road holds much fear. Oh! They stopped me. That's not good. You can't be doing... Oh, okay, we're on fire. That shouldn't happen. That wasn't happening in testing. Why are we on fire? Things have gone very spectacularly wrong. I think whatever I hit that was very solid did something it shouldn't. Okay, that's not worked. Well, that was much fun for 30 seconds. I have a theory. I'm not sure about it, though. I might possibly have got the fuel tank. Whatever kind of hit me very stationary early on, it might have got the fuel tank, and I might have then gone and set fire to it. Possibly, because I did, just after I finished filming with the ramp truck last time out, I did drive about 30 seconds more with that, and I flipped a car into a wall, car exploded, and that knocked the fuel, or that punched the fuel tank of the truck that exploded very quickly afterwards. So I wonder if that might be what happened. We might have to be a little bit more careful. You see, I tested it to make sure that my changes to the car's handling file had worked by driving up and down the motorway the wrong way and launching everything to space, and it was absolutely fine doing that. Didn't catch fire for a good 5-10 minutes. So, I don't know what on earth caused that one. I don't know. I think it was the fuel tank. It might be a little bit more exposed, this vehicle, for the helicopters to get the fuel tank out. So we might have to be a tad careful. I've got a ramp car. That was very peculiar. I went alongside that truck and it just fired it backwards. Or the Crusader, sorry, fired it backwards. Hold on a second. I'm going to mess around with car physics now. Look, I just want to pull up alongside you. I want to see what happens. That was the most subtle, that was the tamest of ramp car uses I think we've ever seen. That's ridiculous, I love it. It's like we've got Robot Wars weaponry on the front of my car. It kind of just pulls the vehicle over the top of it. That's quite entertaining. You are not going to... Okay, right, we need a distraction. We need a distraction. Cars are getting too close behind, so fire! Hey, we got you with a truck. Oh, that's a fantastic game. That is a fantastic sport. Oh, okay. I've got so many challenges. I cannot wait for this to be allowed in custom games on GTA Online. I've got so many ideas for races and silly stuff that we can do with these ramp vehicles. And certainly having a ramp car with the rest of the pack behind racing and the ramp car throwing vehicles at them sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like an awful lot. It sounds like my sort of silly fun. I've almost had him do a kind of a wheelie. I haven't seen any helicopters to throw stuff at. I'm disappointed. Oh, you missed. You dodged one. You dodged two. Have a barracks. Oh, you dodged that as well. And wow, he is on his game today. Right, new sport. Throw. Oh, he dodged that one. Will you dodge that? Yes. Still he goes on. You might be the best army driver we've ever seen. And the barracks? No, barracks hasn't got you. Bobcat, and hey! His luck would run out in the end. I had to really try on that one, though. Well played, good sir. That was fantastic driving. Right, you can go to space. It must have been the fuel tank, seeing as the amount of punishment that I've now taken in this drive into the city. Bike! Oh, I missed the bike. We've got to get a Prius as well. We've got to get a Prius. Oh, we're out of wanted radius. I don't know where to go now. I wasn't expecting this. I'll be honest. Maybe if we go... Oh, there's army... Oh, there's army cars to the left I didn't see. Oh, I wasn't kind of expecting to be out of the wanted radius there. We need a Prius or a bike. Well, we haven't found a Prius. To space with you! Where is he? He really has gone to space. Okay, he's not coming down anytime soon. We have actually sent a man to orbit. We have our next astronaut over here. Come back! Oh, no. Not astronauts. Nope, he is not going to be going to space anytime soon. Right, escape. We're supposed to be escaping the army somehow in all of this. This series has kind of devolved into do silly things with the army cars making a nuisance, especially when you have vehicles like this. There's just no other thing to do, really. It will be more sensible chasing with some of the other new cars. I quite look forward to taking the amphibious cars and so on up against the army and seeing how they do. Amphibious truck and quad bike thing. Whoops! We've almost flipped car off someone else's roof. However, with a vehicle like this, it is just too good an opportunity to prat around and make stuff roll over. Yeah, you can go over as well, Ruin. Now, do we have a new contender for Follow the Flip Car? No, because you've crashed. Tacoban! Yes, you can not really... There's no one following me close enough. I mean, I can't blame them. I'm going to be honest. I can't blame them for not wanting to follow... Panto. I want to send you to space as well. Come back here. We are going to launch. Oh, damn it. Oh. I wasn't going fast enough, apparently. Oh, no. I've lost in powers. There we go. We're fine. We're good. We're good. Only a minor scale. I think the Panto was actually fine from that small space flight. This is way too much fun. This is way too much fun. Oh, please break into... I can't believe, though, that, of course, the two episodes of this that I'm doing with flip cars, no Pre has turned up, and that is a big disappointment. Wow, that was some big airtime for the... whatever it was. The Messer... I get distracted. It's too easy to get distracted with this. We should probably try and get away from the army. I actually don't think it's going to be particularly challenging with this. You can go to space as well, as can you. Whoops, I think we clipped a bike. Because this has got more speed and more manoeuvrability than the truck. It will fit into car parks and so on. I imagine actually this would not be too... Even without its crazy flipping abilities, it would probably still be able to get away. Because it's just got the agility and so on, let alone the fact that it can then just drive straight through. Oops, that's not a drive-throughable car park. Whoopsie. I saw a gap and I thought it would be. Struggle a little bit with the traction going up the hill, but nothing too terrible. Not as bad as the V8 supercars in the snow. They were not good. They were not good for traction. And you could get a lot crazier with stuff as well than them for trying to get up the hills and so on in the snow. Right, what is our plans going to be with this one? I'm kind of just launching cars at the moment, not really thinking about... Oh, the Pantos might be my favourite thing to fire. I don't know if they're... Feltzer's like the lowest car in the game, I think, apparently, apart from this, because we launched that Feltzer miles. Panto to space with you! Look at it, tumble and roll. Yeah, I mean, the car parks are going to be a relatively straightforward way, I would imagine, to get away. Unfortunately, we have got lots of army cars directly around. Oh, it probably would have been safe, actually, because they're struggling, they're really struggling, in fact, to keep up with this. I think it's not just the rolling their cars, it's just creating all the debris that is causing them grief as well. They just have a tougher time following. Ooh, although when I hit that one, we kind of lost control briefly. That's peculiar. This thing can still fail. You saw in the opening chase, apparently, one way that it can fail. There are a couple of other plausible ways that we could get into trouble. It could well get wedged. I love the cannon backwards. Could well get wedged. While this isn't as bad as the truck in terms of beaching its nose on various bits and pieces, it can still happen. Oh, go to space. Because I want to go and hide around the back of the airport, and to do that I've got to fire all of you out of the way. Yeah, because I launched them miles clear, it takes them so long to recover. I think this will probably work, and we're not going to ground it out like you would potentially with the truck. The truck isn't as awful as you might initially expect, and perhaps as it should be. However, it does get or can get stuck, whereas this, I haven't had a problem with the front catching on the floor. Oh, bugger, 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 helicopter, helicopter, run this way! Helicopter is kind of paying attention. Helicopter's gone the other way, so we've got to be really careful here, because that helicopter's spawned in a really awkward place. Because I can't go too near the fence, because there are army cars that will patrol, or army will spawn in the airport. They won't spawn out here, though. That was a inopportune moment. Thankfully, my car is completely and utterly camouflaged here out on the snowy beach. The grey, rusty machine is completely camouflaged. I mean, it could be worse. It could be bright orange or bright green, and that would be slightly less camouflaged than this. But there we go. Come on, we can make it. We can just park up here, to be honest. I think we are relatively safe out here. Yeah, just the sheer speed of this car, the acceleration, and the fact that, of course, when an army vehicle is remotely near to you, they tend to go to space. It takes them so long to recover. That is not a particular... I say it's not a particular challenge to get away. You can get yourself into trouble. Apparently the fuel tank is weak. But yeah, we are away from the army pretty convincingly, and many, many flipped cars. Well, I think, seeing as the truck didn't take on Chiliad in the dangerous road, we've got to have a go with it in at least one flipped vehicle. Now, I am expecting this to have no real issues climbing Mount Chiliad. Let's face it, this has got the speed and the grip, I would think, to climb it if cars didn't drive straight over it. The biggest problem with climbing Chiliad is basically barracks coming down the mountain directly at your face and knocking you off the course. This isn't going to have that problem as much. I say as much because I have just thought, while I was in the loading screens waiting, I have just thought there could be a small issue. You see, when we're on relatively level ground, such as this, yeah, we're going to send them to space. There's no problem for us. A lot of sending to space. However, as we climb Chiliad, there is a small potential. It perhaps might be worse on the dangerous road itself, but there is a potential that if we are at a slight angle pointing up and we have a car coming towards us, it could get underneath us. And then that could smack us. I think that might have been what broke it on that opening run, that when it set on fire. Hey, I didn't even have to do that one. You rolled yourself into the crash barrier. Well done, good sir. Yeah, basically, there is a tiny potential that on this course they might stand a better chance. Off you go. Oh, he's actually stayed on his bike. Well done. You can go backwards. You can go backwards as well. Oh, we've got police car playing the dodge the flying obstacles. I've missed returning to Chiliad because I'm having too fun with our new game. Unfortunately, we have got to go this way, and now they've all spun out completely. And we'll roll a Regina. Still no prees, disappointingly. Well, having said that, I've probably missed one now, and people are shouting at me. You can go upside down, just for that. Oh, mountain biker. I'm going to miss the mountain biker. Okay, new plan. Hold on, mountain biker. I want to see what happens when I hit you with a flip car. Do you go to space? Do you go to space? Can you join your motorbiking cousin? No, not quite. That police car is persistent. I will give him that. I will give him that. Police cars, the way that the mod for the army of the police that I have chasing me shouldn't actually spawn in police cars at 5 stars, but because of where I start in the game, I guess it takes it like a second or two to realise what's going on. Occasionally, there's an occasional reason why. Oh, they've got the fuel tank. They have got the fuel tank. Me prattling around, I think that was then what must have caused the fire. We'll see if this goes up. When this goes up, in fact, it has just gone up. Yeah, it's exactly the same fire I think that we had last time. Bang, car down. Doesn't make it up Chiliad. So a lucky shot from the helicopter or me. I don't think I hit anything particularly bad in that, but get the fuel tank and you are done for. We've found a flaw. A very slight flaw, but a flaw nevertheless. Now, with such a weak and obviously exposed fuel tank, that could be quite a problem. With climbing Chiliad, you see, one of the real difficulties and one of the ways that a lot of cars fail the climb, if it's not from just simply being knocked back down the mountain by the barracks and so on, it is the helicopters taking out the fuel tank. The reason is, even with the most powerful of cars, there are times when you're going to have to go slow to make sure you stay on the track, avoid army vehicles and so on. Now, while we don't have to worry so much about the avoiding army vehicles bit, we are still going to have to go slow in places. As I mentioned before, if the front of my car ends up off the ground, we have got to be wary with all of that and so on. So, you're going to be slower going up the mountain, and that means that the helicopters get more chance to shoot at you, and they tend to fly quite low. They tend to fly quite crazily across the mountain, which will be good in terms of me trying to launch an army car at them, but bad in terms of them, well, bad in terms of my survivability. Their accuracy, of course, going to be far greater. One thing this does mean, though, is it gives another reload and a chance for a game to spawn in a pre for me. Pre anywhere? Anyone fancy throwing a pre at the front of a flip car? I would quite like to. Oh, excuse me. He almost crashed on his own there. Have a Sand King. Yes, I shall throw a Sand King and a barracks at you. Nope, he's missed all of them. Oh, I've missed my turning as well in all of that. They got the fuel tank again. Yeah, I can just see it leaking fuel over there. I think they've got the fuel tank. I did see some fuel leak, and then it's now the animation for the leaking fuel has stopped, and we're back on fire again. This is a peculiar one. Well, now I'm beginning to wonder whether either A, the helicopters have suddenly got or the gunners in the helicopters have suddenly got a hell of a lot more accurate, or if perhaps like a slightly awkward impact from a car being ramped over here is what's catching the fuel tank. It's possible, I guess. What that does mean is we're going to have to be, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, a little bit careful. We're not going to fire everything into space unless we absolutely have to. Of course, when it comes to Mount Chiliad, we will still be launching cars, because it's going to be easier for me, and it is much safer in terms of survivability climbing Chiliad to go underneath the vehicles if you can. But if we can avoid launching cars unless it's A pre, or B, absolutely necessary. That's what we're going to go. Maybe a motorbike or maybe a panto if one happens to be in front of me. They might also go to space. Otherwise, we are, as I can't believe I'm having to say this, going to have to avoid launching vehicles, which is very disappointing. But I would actually like to at least start climbing Chiliad this time before we burst into flames. See, we're okay at the moment. You're going to come across there, and I can swerve out of the way because I've got plenty of grip. You army guys should be very, very thankful that I am choosing not to launch all of you to space this time around. There is a huge amount of grip in this car, actually, around these corners. I would quite like to see what happens if I fire the mountain biker going sort of head-on and carry a lot more speed into hitting him, but we are not going to find out today, sadly, as he is not here. We've lost the wanted radius break. The army know where I'm going. They were ready. They were ready with their cars coming down the mountain. That's very impressive. I actually want to know, now I've just thought of that, how do they get their vehicles up here so quickly? How do they get their vehicles coming down the mountain ready to give chase? Because, yeah, that's some work getting a car up to the top of the mountain. In fact, the barracks, I don't know if the barracks can make it. I certainly know the barracks can't make it up the other side of the mountain. It might make it up this side. I'm not 100% sure. I've never tried it with the barracks. You probably can. It's just really fiddly. We don't need to do any of the rolling of the army vehicles so far. They're doing it all themselves down here, which does make my life a little bit easier. I've actually had quite an easy passage up this mountain so far because everybody's fallen over. I think the snow will have helped me a little bit. There's just that slight less bit of grip. I don't know why. That was just instinct to duck out of the way of the barracks. I could have gone underneath it, but I guess... Oh, okay, we're going to have to go underneath that one. Yeah, I can get away, of course, with a lot more in this car, but instinct will kick in from time to time. But yeah, we are trying to save it as well. You're going to kind of make a turn and give us a slight knock. To be fair, if they knock the front of the thing, it's not a problem, because that's not where the fuel tank is. Over you go. It's when they're hitting the back. It's probably repeated hits to the back of it that's the problem. Oh, crap. You can go through. You can stop there. That's a really awkward bit. That's really narrow when you have a very, very wide, very low car. Oh! Just throw the barracks. The good news is the barracks hit me on the side that's not a flip part of my car and just pinged off it. Oh, they've got the fuel tank again. I don't know whether that's helicopter or whether that is from crashes. Now, what I've got to do here is be really careful not to set fire to my own fuel trail, so I'm trying not to have the exhaust pop. That's not easy when you've got a car like this one. I'm trying to keep like a set position on the throttle. That's just what we're going to do here. Set position on the throttle, and we might be able to make it all the way to the top of Chiliad before we run out of fuel. That is definitely a design flaw in this vehicle, okay? Big design flaw. Helicopters have eaten one another. I saw that. Fuel tank incredibly exposed. They'd have had a lot less problems in Fast and Furious if the car had a very leaky fuel tank. It's just one bullet and that's it done with. Oh, okay. Fine. Even when we're in the air, it doesn't matter because we still will take out the barracks. We're just an impenetrable, unstoppable force here. Right, down Chiliad we go. We're going to have to cheat. If we want to get down Chiliad, we're going to have to cheat here. I've not really picked the best point to cheat. It's been too long since I've driven down the mountain. Careful, we're getting on the... I should have gone around the corner and then that would have been better. Is it here that's the okay part? Possibly. Come on, car. We're not going to make it to the dangerous road, I'm afraid. We did make it up Chiliad. Now we're doing a lot of speed. We're doing a lot of speed indeed down here. Still leaking fuel. Oh, tree. We're good. I mean, we've kind of made it down. Oh, we've got to be really careful here when we're messing about. We've got to be gentle with the throttle. There was a cough. There was a big cough, actually, from the engine. We're not spitting fire anymore because I think we're very much out of fuel. We are out of fuel. We have come to a halt. Oh, we were so close. Unfortunately, everything locks up when it runs out of fuel, so we can't even coast it down the mountain. Well, the flip car has a critical flaw. And I don't know if one of those bullets is the one that hits it or whether it was a crash that did it. The fuel tank is very easily damaged, and once they hit that, it is game over. If you can get away before the fuel tank takes a hit, and let's face it, in a car like this, that is quite doable, then it's amazing fun. However, yeah, fuel tank is dangerous. I don't even know if there is where the file in the handling, or where the line in the handling file is for fuel tank. Don't know about that one. Not something I've had a problem with before. Yeah, there we go. We will leave it at the bottom of a snowy canyon being shot at from helicopters. And that's about all the army are doing to it. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And I will, of course, put a link to all the mods in the description that I've used, so you can download them, have a go with them yourself. But yeah, until next time, goodbye.